G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the movie bosses challenge for the Fighting Legend Vegeta event and basically get a pretty good look at essentially how to beat it. Now the thing is, the Fighting Legend Vegeta event and the Fighting Legend Goku GT event, they were incredibly tough events. They're now probably what I would say being moderate to high difficulty. They're probably the event you tackle just before you enter into the really hard stuff, like the, red zones, basically. I would say, they're probably there in terms of level. Now, obviously, overall, it's still really fun, and it's a great chance to use units that stack. They're quite long events, there's multiple phases, so it is actually, even though it's not necessarily the absolute hardest content, I actually still find it a ton of fun. I actually think it's still one of the most fun game modes because it allows you to see, some big numbers. It's one of the few events where extreme units get to shine, and it's just a really fun event. So overall, I still really enjoy it, and completing these challenges is still a lot of fun. Plus you get the tickets, plus you get all that stuff. So it's still really cool. Now, in terms of the movie bosses team, we're going completely free to play. So we are using the Metal Cooler team. This one's from the worldwide download celebration from last year, 2022. And I think the Metal Cooler team is probably one of the reasons why people liked that worldwide celebration so much, and I can completely understand why. The Metal Cooler team is a ton of fun. They each have, they're all very similar, but they each have, some distinct differences. Like the AGL one has evasion, is a bit more defensive, and then you get, the strength one, which provides a bit of support, and you get the int one, which is a bit of a hybrid between everything, and you get the tech one, which is pure damage nuking, and then you get the physical one, which is also a more offensive unit. So there is a lot of fun that you can have with the teams, I think. So I do think overall it's definitely one of the reasons why I think most players really enjoy the that worldwide celebration, and I think it is something that's quite appealing about the team. So in terms of lead, we're using the int Metal Cooler from the battlefield. Obviously, great unit. His easy A helps him out a lot. He provides support to the rotation. He's defensively sound. He heals. I mean, they all heal, but he provides healing as well. So, I would say pretty good stuff. Pretty solid, at least from my perspective. I think at the end of the day, it is actually a really nice lead to kind of run, for this team. Then, of course, we're rocking pretty much every single multicolored, member of the Rainbow Nation, of the Cooler team. You get these guys from the 9 billion power events. You've got, Metal Cooler AGL, Metal Cooler Physical, Metal Cooler Int, Metal Cooler Tech, etc. And then we also have another Metal Cooler Strength. This one actually is just a Metal Cooler, but he is a Strength type, and he is pretty helpful as well. He boosts allies' attack and defense from his super attack, and he provides support, so he's also pretty helpful. Just in general, the whole team is basically just different flex meshes of the same kit. Like I said, some being more defensive, some being less defensive, some being more offensive, some healing off of damage, some not healing off of damage. Essentially just, a whole bunch of nice flexy options. Now, one thing I will say is that with auto regeneration, your healing is also very high. So very high. So you got a lot. You've got a lot of, how can I say, health recovery. So even though you may take some damage on the supers, I just want to give you a heads up that you are probably going to be able to recover from them pretty well. I don't think you're going to struggle to recover from the super attacks. I think you'll end up being just fine. So again, just one of those things. But from my side, I think, personally speaking, team runs pretty smoothly. friend lead, you can opt for a couple. We're opting for the physical cooler just for stats. You know, the 200% lead does help. Also, just again, more healing. He's not actually necessarily the best option because he doesn't himself distinctly provide a huge level of offense, which is traditionally what free-to-play teams struggle with. So free-to-play teams tend to struggle because they don't have offense. They don't have, you know, like, how can I say, they don't have like big damage dealers traditionally. So having, you know, essentially like a friendly that does all your damage, like a strength cooler, is obviously more ideal. But in our situation, we're not fortunate to do that. We're using the metal cooler, but he provides with what we lose in terms of, you know, offensive output. We gain in terms of healing and just general kind of strength and output and defensive output. And the revive, we have a couple more fail safes, I want to say. Like, we have a couple more things that just kind of make the team mesh and run and work. So yeah, overall, pretty good stuff. But yeah, from my side, I think this team runs pretty well. Obviously, Movie Bosses has plenty of options for this stage, so you shouldn't really have too many issues. I think overall, you know, you should be more than fine, realistically speaking. I just don't see it being a massive problem. You got Broly, you got the coolers, you've got freezers, you've got Janembas, you've got plenty of pretty solid options with which to, you know, basically get the win. So I don't think there's anything that you should be too concerned about. Of course, yeah, it's not entirely up to me. You might get hit with a bad super. You know, like I said, they can take damage from super attacks. It is something that can occur. So yeah, I can't really control that. And this team doesn't really have the best super attack defense. Like, I will put that out there. It doesn't have a crushing super attack control mechanism. You know, it does have some caveats when it comes to getting hit by a big bad super. So I will put that in place. But outside of that, honestly, probably more than fine. I think your recovery rate is so high that you can afford to get hit by a couple attacks and you'll probably be okay. So it is just one of those things. I think at the end of the day, you should end up being fine. But yeah, pretty straightforward team build, pretty simple. Give it a go. Tell me your team build if it's something different, or give me a shout if you're struggling, of course. It's always fine. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.